excited to have our brewing brother, my comedy brother, and his sister, but definitely our family from way back, introducing Kim Spencer, because you got to go ladies first, and Chris Spencer, our brewing partner and executive producer, writer, comedy legend extraordinaire, the first host of Vibe in the building with us, the Spencer siblings. How y'all doing?
Great! Superb! Yay! We got Chris. I mean, I feel like, we got
Stop. I've done everything y'all have ever asked of me.
Yes, it's just a timing issue.
Kente, from your first talk show.
Yo, you, yes.
What was that? I don't even remember that.
Right?
Yeah, it was
that. I did the thing we did in Miami.
Yes.
Y'all did that for me.
Yeah, we did that for you. And that turned out great. That was pretty dope. I saw the commercial for it.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that was cool. Oh,
it's fire. Yep. But you always show up, Chris. You always do show up. You like the big fish we always try to reel in the boat. It takes a little time, but we get you on.
Because we're from Oakland and we'll just roll up on him if he don't show up too. We're like, don't get confused.
I'm not gonna talk smack about how long it took me to get y'all on the phone the other day, but it's okay.
Hey.
When you start, you can't start on that now.
Yeah, not as long as it took for us to get you on this podcast. Right, so we still win it.
Exactly. That's clear.
How you guys doing during the quarantine?
I'm good.
I'm excellent.
All right.
Are you guys talking more during the quarantine, or do you guys get to communicate?
Yeah. In the beginning, everyone was a little bit nervous, so they were calling every minute. Are you okay today? Are you okay today?
You'll see that everybody's funny in a second, you guys.
Right.
Oh, I see.
So he's like the big brother that checks on you kind of type for person. That's kind of cool.
Yep. I'm still his baby little spoiled sister.
She just had a birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
And he's 52 and I'm 25 times 2.
All right.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's a big birthday.
Yeah.
We have ageless birthdays in our family now because our mom refuses to tell her age. So now we had to stop telling our age because eventually it would tell her age. So we have a family of ageless birthdays.
Okay. Yeah, even my daughter said I can't tell her age no more. I was like, you still in your 20s. What are you talking about? She's like, but I'm getting closer. I said, okay, fine, whatever.
It works.
Yeah. So how was it growing up with Chris as a big brother?
Comedy 24/7. Comedy 24/7. I used to have to try not to laugh. I practiced not to laugh. I'd have to hold my face stern, like I'm not gonna laugh.
Okay.
That's funny.
Comedy from the beginning.
Okay. Because Kente actually was quiet growing up. So that's interesting that Chris was always comedy even as a child.
Yes, we were like wildcats. We had so much fun. Really smart, stayed at the top of his game, competitive, always, a leader, won. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun growing up.
That is a sister that adores her big brother because she read all of that, didn't even have to pay her for that little speech. She called her brother a leader. He's a leader? Chris, how was it being the big brother?
She was already so savvy that it wasn't like I ever had to teach her anything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She was book smart. She was street smart. She was funny. So it was never like, hey, let me tell you about this. She'd be like, nigga, I already know about that.
Because I was his shadow watching him behind, see? So,
okay.
I was his shadow behind. So I was behind like, ooh, wee, okay. Yeah. So it made me, I think, a lot stronger,
Nice.
It was awesome, though.
He
always came in like first place in the spelling bees. He thought he knew Kung Fu and he never took a class. He swore he was Bruce Lee when we moved to Inglewood, and he was not, but he had the whole neighborhood full.
Right. Now, you guys moved to Inglewood. Where were you born? Where were you living before Inglewood?
We lived
Just
in
Los Angeles area.
we lived in LA proper.
Okay.
Then we moved to Inglewood, and then we graduated school in South Pasadena.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Because I remember when you came to UCLA, you was like, I'm from Pasadena. And then
Right.
we got into comedy, you was like, I'm from Inglewood. I was like, wait, what happened? When did that happen?
I usually tell white people South Pasadena and black people Inglewood. So there must have been some white people around.
It was at UCLA, so there was a whole bunch of white people around.
That is funny.
Because you say Inglewood, there's too many questions after. Oh my God, did you? And it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Because
sometimes you guys say Oakland, and sometimes you say the Bay.
Yeah.
That's true. Now that is true.
Right.
Especially when back in the day, people didn't always know where Oakland was. So if they didn't know the Raiders, they're like, okay, where's Oakland?
Yeah.
Right.
They just started giving Oakland credit when the Warriors won like two or three championships. Then they give them credit. They were all
it took at least 3, right?
yeah. We had to win like 5 championships, have a boycott for them to finally say they play in Oakland, California.
And then they moved, and they were like, "Cool, now we could just say San Francisco." Dude. So how was it moving from LA proper to Inglewood? Because Hope Flood said when she moved from I think Jefferson and Adams and moved to Inglewood, it was like moving to like the Black Beverly Hills. Was it like that for y'all?
Well, we were young. I was in the 2nd grade. I think she was in kindergarten when we first, maybe even before that. Yeah, 2nd grade. So we were kids, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like this neighborhood was that much better than that neighborhood because where we came from wasn't that bad, and then where we went was I guess better. There were more kids on the block we got to play with. I mean, we grew up with them. So the people in LA, I remember a couple names, but I had like no best friends. Like the people in Inglewood, I still talk to this day because we lived there for a longer amount of time.
You guys moved in the middle of the year.
Yeah, March of '83.
How
84.
Now how was that? Then?
Okay.
Well,
that was a culture shock. It was really weird for me. I think we have 2 different perspectives on it. It was really a shocking thing. Chris and I, like I said, we were at the top of our game in Inglewood. We were both skipped when we were younger. We were like, the best in our class. And when I moved to South Pasadena, I kind of felt like because it was more diverse with a lot of Asians and white people, I was just regular. I wasn't that super smart girl anymore.
Oh, they're messing up the
That
curve.
was shocking. The first thing. So I saw the educational system in Los Angeles was a lot different than what they were offering in like maybe the San Gabriel valleys or areas where they were more culturally diverse. The books were different.
Is this your first interview together, the two of you? Because we know we like exclusives. We had to
Ever.
It is proud ever. Okay.
Yeah.
Ever. Well, let me ask you this, Kim. Since Chris, you said was always a clown, and I know when you're a clown and you always aspire to be in the entertainment business. As a kid, you start going out. Did you ever try to get in acting or go on commercial auditions or anything like that? Growing up,
kind of just like being the shadow of my brother. Yeah, I mean, like I was just telling my friend, I tried to do like a Rodney Allen Rippey commercial for Burger King one time, and I think that Chris was on an interview one time, and he was something with the Silvers. Remember that, Chris?
Oh,
that
snap!
God,
so we were like running into people, and I kind of was, but not really. Like my brother kind of helped me like to do like production assistant and executive production assistant on a couple of his things. So that's how I kind of got in.
So you're more behind the scenes. You like being more behind the scenes.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So Chris, you were in entertainment as a child. You guys started early on in your.
First of all, let's get a quick timeout. Why is your camera and lighting so perfect, Shonda? What
That's my aura.
Shonda gets on. Shonda been on here since 11 o'clock.
I did our sound check early, so.
No, do you have a light kit? Do you have a light kit?
Yes. She
lighting, sound.
She's shining.
Okay, got you. What was the question? I'm sorry, I was just enamored.
He was enamored with your perfect sheen. He was like, "Why does she look so good?"
Right.
The question was from Shonda. You want to run the question back, Shonda?
I'll show you the behind the scenes, Chris, after when we go. No, now Kristen had me all in my like.
Yeah, you got. Oh, you asked him.
Oh no, I said, Chris, you actually started your career as a child in LA.
Oh yeah, so I did a commercial for Mattel at the age of 6 or 8.
Nice.
6, and then the having to take off work to take the kid on an audition just became too much. So I kind of faded out of that until I got to like high school, and then I started acting again.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You're like how your mom probably was with you, like I am with my son. Like you're so funny. You need to get paid for that. So
wait, time out. You have a son?
Yes, a grown adult son.
Yes, grown kid. Yeah,
my son is. I can tell his age. He's 23.
We'll do a sidebar. Let me see if I really know you.
He's been acting in commercials since he was 17 months.
Yeah. Oh, 17 months.
He's behind the scenes here. He's trying to like get his little shout out, like, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
You didn't know that was my son? Are you on my Facebook
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Good.
You haven't seen my post? I'm always posting about him. But thank you.
So, Chris, you should also mention your comedy. Like, I kind of see, like, from the beginning, not only, but like Daddy, but remember, like, how you thought you were Houdini?
Houdini
My brother would have everywhere we went, he would have people tie him up with their ties, their ropes, everything. He would have people tie him up, and it was
I'd always escape.
Really?
Always.
Only one time I didn't escape. We were in the 8th grade. I was going to this Catholic school. You remember this, Maria?
We're in the 8th. We're younger than that.
8th grade.
Okay.
You're in the 6th.
You were in 6th grade.
Remember, we got kicked out. So
of the school?
We went to Monroe after. So this dude brought this thing. His name was Eric Webb. Eric Webb. He tries to do stand-up every now and then, Kente.
I think I know the name.
He brought this leather thing they used to hold slaves with.
Oh,
right.
Man.
It was thin and it was simple. It was almost like those bolo ties. It was skinny and you did this. And I said, I can get out of that. So why did he put me in it in church?
No.
Oh. So they saw us fiddling. You don't remember this, Kim? So they saw us fiddling with it. And Sister Mary Julie Louise, she's like, read the next hymnal, Chris, the next whatever. And I got up and I was like this.
With your hands tied in a knot.
Yes. I got suspended. It was around Christmas break, so we just never came back.
Oh, dang.
But it just sounds tougher to say I got kicked out of Catholic school.
Yeah, not trying. It doesn't sound it sounds a tonight bit soft to say I was trying to be Harry Houdini. Got kicked out
I'm tied up in church.
Who gets kicked out of school for magic?
Right.
Black people.
It was funny.
So Christo, when did you? Because I remember we were in college and you were like Junior Magic Johnson in the men's gym and everything. Like Chris was one of the only non-scholarship athletes to be playing with the professional athletes in the men's gym. I'd be on the sideline like, how he get in there? He ain't even on the team.
Right.
But when did you get into like comedy? Because I just looked
at college. At UCLA, which is weird. You weren't even thinking about stand-up then, huh?
Nope.
Kente wasn't even thinking about acting at UCLA. He got discovered at UCLA on campus for a major commercial. He wasn't even. I was the one going there to be a model and entertainment.
Yeah, Shonda was a model and she was in music videos and all that. I just came to UCLA to go to UCLA because I didn't get into University of Pennsylvania. So I was like, I'm just gonna go to UCLA.
You got in. Daddy didn't let you go.
No. One of my teachers voted me down. Whole long story.
Okay.
Yeah. So I came to UCLA and I was playing basketball in the Wooden Center, and this guy came up and was like, y'all want to be in a commercial? And I was like, I know how LA works. You're not getting me, stranger danger. And it was like 4 of us, and he took a Polaroid. That's how long ago it was. And then they called me, and I ended up doing a Cleveland Power Company commercial. And Shonda was like, just do it on the side. So I was doing commercials in college, and I didn't even think about doing stand-up till I think almost my end of my senior year. My mama came down and was like, we're getting you on stage somewhere. But you were already well in it by then.
Yeah. So Sully and I started doing like, the white frats would have Rush Week.
Yeah.
And so they would want entertainment for the guys that were coming to Fred. So me, him, and about a couple other guys created a comedy club, and we would perform
Really?
during Rush Week. And then we would perform in Ackerman.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
my first paid gig that you were at, you might not remember, is Andre Farr bought Public Enemy
Yep.
in UCLA, and I opened for Public Enemy, and I was supposed to do a 15-minute set, and I only had 5 minutes, and I bombed for 14 minutes. And it wasn't until I finally heard that Chuck D and them had just got there, and Andre's like, all right, last thing, we gotta go. And somebody heckled me, and I did the old standard. They said, why are you messing with me while I'm at work? I don't come to your job and bounce on the bed. Standard, how do you handle a heckler?
Right.
And got a big laugh, and I got to say, ladies and gentlemen, Flavor Flav, Chuck D, Public Enemy.
Wow.
And I was out.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
But nobody remembers you bombing. I don't even remember that part.
You just remember that? People don't even remember me.
Oh.
I was there, and I don't remember you as the MC. But all we need is a comedian that one laugh and be like, I'll be back next week.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, I didn't realize you had created that comedy cafe at UCLA. That's pretty ingenious. I didn't even they didn't even have things like that back then. You know what I mean? It's like now it's a model, but back then they didn't really have that kind of platform.
Yeah. We were performing the Coop.
Yeah. Because
We brought Steinfeld out there. So our little comedy club, we had Mark Curry, we had Don Reed, we had Rob Schneider, and then I remember one night we brought Jerry Seinfeld. And
UCLA?
yes, and we had to pick straws to see who what the order was. And I remember I picked the smallest straw, and I was first. And I was like, "Yo, man, I was trying to trade everybody. Yo, here we go." And he's like, "Why don't you want to go first?" I said, "Well, I don't know. I mean, I want to go to somewhere in the middle of the show, maybe close the show." He goes, "If you go first, you get to dictate the pace." And we were like, "Yeah." And then everybody started fighting me about who wants to go first.
Hey, we want to go first now. That's dope, man.
That is funny.
That's sneaky. I didn't know that part.
So Kim, are you in entertainment at all? Are you in that space? Because it's LA. A lot of LA, like you're not really somewhat.
Not really. A little bit sometimes when I feel like it.
Like what area do you dabble in?
Well, I do catering and I do production assistant also.
Okay.
Yes.
So our mom had a catering company for years, one of the largest ones in the Bay Area. And we've been
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she loved it. She's a nurse. She's a nurse now. She went back to nursing, but it's a labor of love. So you can cook.
Yes, I can.
You can hook it up. Okay.
Yes, I can.
So we know where to come for Sunday dinner.
I mostly cook Jamaican food, though. I mostly specialize in Jamaican cooking.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. 'Cause your family has roots in Jamaica, right? You guys are.
Everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody's doing. Oh. Kente's daughter just made this Cornish hen, jerk chicken Cornish hen, and she posted it on Instagram. It looks so good. I'm like, that's gonna be on the menu for Thanksgiving next year. Moved on.
I jerk my turkey. I jerk my turkey every time, and every time I jerk it, anyone who tastes it, they're cooking it for Christmas.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Yeah, it's really good. I cook it upside down and I jerk it. Yep.
You cook. So you flip a turkey on his back?
I put it on his breast so it can get real juicy, juicier than everyone else's.
Okay.
And then maybe 30 minutes before, I'll turn it back over so it can get the right color and browning. But I'm winning because the breast is extra full of all the juices that it's been cooking in for about 3 or 4 hours.
All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We always come to LA for Thanksgiving, so if we're not in shelter in place, I guess we'll be doing some drive-bys to some church.
You guys stay in LA?
Our aunt, we've been coming to LA since we were little. It was a family tradition. Our mom's older sister is in LA. She's been in LA all of our lives with her family in Gardena.
Yeah, Gardena, Compton, Porter.
What was this? Gaston Green and all of them. They all, and Sonia Barbara, all of them went to school with my cousin Darren, who went to
Gardena High with them. DL lived around the corner from cousin Darren. So every time I see DL, I'll be like, my cousin Darren. He'll be like, oh yeah, that's my boy, that's my dude. I'm like, Darren, he gets really excited about you. You must have saved his life or something.
No, Darren was way cool because Darren was driving at the age of 12 a Coupe de Ville Cadillac around town. So he was like the cool guy. Layla, Rashawn, and all, and they all lived on the same block. They all grew up together. So he was always like cool.
Yeah.
I thought Layla was from Cerritos.
They moved to Cerritos. So they did Gardena, and then they did the Cerritos move.
Yeah.
Right.
Cerritos is better than Gardena Compton border in terms of, for white folks.
But my mom lived there.
So funny hearing you say my mom, because we had some friends we grew up with in Inglewood, and they would talk to each other like they weren't related. Like he would go, Sean, my mom said come inside. And they were brothers.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I know, but I always talk, and I call her mommy to everybody. So elected officials, anybody, I introduce her as mommy. So they go, hi, mommy, because it's like her name is mommy.
Right.
And so that's funny. But yeah, so we would come down there every Thanksgiving. That was a family tradition. And then last year was the first year we had done it in a long time because everybody has kids. And that cousin Darren now lives in Ohio.
Nice.
His mom is still in Gardena. So last year we started back coming to LA with our kids and our parents.
Yeah.
And it used to be so much fun coming down there. That's why I was coming to UCLA and never coming back to Oakland. That was my plan.
Yeah.
Right.
You went back
to Oakland, going to LA, never coming back.
Yeah.
To keep up with the latest on What Sibling Rivalry podcast, please subscribe to us on your favorite platform. On Apple Podcasts, click on the subscribe button. And please don't forget to leave us a review and rating. On Spotify, click on the follow button under our picture. And on Stitcher, click on the plus sign under our picture. This will keep you up to date on all the fun and funny.
LA was like I said, our cousin, he had a white Coupe de Ville, and I used to think it was a lowrider, but he just put cinder blocks in the trunk to make it lower because his father wouldn't pay for the hydraulics.
That's hilarious.
All those stories.
Yeah.
All the throwbacks, Speaking of throwbacks, like what was growing up, what was one of your favorite sitcoms when you guys were growing up?
The Super Friends. Wonder Twin Powers activate.
Okay. Started more cartoon with it.
More of a cartoon. I'm just a Bill.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. One of my favorite sitcoms growing up.
My cartoon was the Jacksons. I love waking up.
We grew up with the Sanford and Son, the Jeffersons.
Yeah.
Good time.
And that's when they used to say nigga on the air and not even trip. Like they showed the cut like Fred Sanford and George Jefferson, the two people I first heard say out their mouth, nigga please. What? Oh Lord. 8:30 on Thursday night.
I remember one of his lines was he was trying to ask the judge for some kind of leniency.
Yeah.
He goes, but something black people. He goes, you got enough niggas in there to make a Tarzan movie.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
And they all just laughed, and it was like, okay, move to the next scene. It wasn't no whole uproar about the N-word. It was just like, and next week on Sanford and Son.
And that's funny. I don't even remember that because that was always a bad word for us, but I don't remember it being on TV. And I just saw a clip of Little House on the Prairie, and they had the young Todd Bridges.
Yeah.
And he was a
Laura
nigga.
did
I don't
something
remember watching these shows and seeing that blatant. That's crazy.
Well, I never watched Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
I did a lot.
Yeah. I remember George Jefferson because he said it to Lou Gossett when Lou Gossett was hitting on Wheezy. I was like, oh my God.
Now it's a bad word. Yeah, Good Times was mine. I used to love Good Times.
Yeah.
Especially with James was such a dad's dad. He reminded me of my dad because he would whip the friends if they was acting up.
That was the best episode when he whipped his son, whipped Michael's friend in the back room. He was like, everybody in this house. That was hilarious. Okay.
We had some of those families on our street. We had families that looked like that on our street. It's like James. Yeah, definitely.
So your dad wasn't like a James type of person. He wasn't that kind of.
Well, they got divorced when we were younger.
Okay.
And so when we saw him, it was Disneyland. You know what I mean? It was the weekends. He gonna take us and make sure we had a great weekend. You know what I mean?
He was trying to impress y'all. Like
She was more of the disciplinarian.
You said your mom was a disciplinarian?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, my dad he always tells me this story. There was one time I did something bad, and my mom told him to come whoop me, and he had did it before. And then the next time he came, he said he just hit the bed and told me to pretend like I was getting hit. He was like, "You ain't gonna," and then he told her, "You ain't gonna have me coming over here to spank them no more. That ain't gonna happen."
Right. He's like, just play along. Just play along. You're an actor. Act like I hurt you.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. Another throwback question. Growing up, who was your favorite singer or favorite rapper?
See, this, you gotta when you say growing up,
We mean in middle school up.
You gotta pick an era.
Middle school up.
Middle school up then.
Because we didn't get rapping until middle school.
80s. Yeah, 80s. Because we were in college in the 90s. In the 80s, yes. The fun time.
Kim?
Prince, maybe.
Oh.
Okay.
New Edition, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember her first album. She won an album on the radio. You know, you call the radio.
1580K. Oh yeah, I think it was what was his name? Ray Parker Jr.
No,
or something like that.
No, I still can see it. You got a Sylvester.
Oh.
That was it.
They just did an unsung on him. I didn't even realize all his backstory.
I don't know his backstory. All I know is she won. I was like, you can win. You know, you always call. It's always remember it was a busy signal, and she won a Sylvester album.
Oh wow,
that's funny. He's like you winner, but you win Sylvester.
1580K day.
That's
you know what?
520-1580K. That's the phone number.
I used to have to go to the top when I used to drive the Blazer in Oakland. You used to have to go up to the top of Skyline and turn on 1580K Day. That's the only place in Oakland you could listen to 1580K Day.
Wow.
Awesome.
All the rap and everything. And I was like, what is this station out of LA? They got the best music.
Oh, y'all didn't have nothing like that?
The only thing we had was KPOO, but it was only on Sunday from 5 to 7 in the evening.
Oh.
Yeah. The rest of it was R&B. You know, that was back when rap, the only thing we had was Rapper's Delight, but K-Day had like Ice-T and
yes, Ice-T
and rapping over here.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Like that's why I heard LA
New York stuff. The New York stuff was popular then. Run DMC and LL. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, Run DMC. When I ran for in high school, I ran for commissioner of assemblies, and I rapped to Hard Times.
Hilarious.
That was your campaign?
Yeah, I was about to say I want to hear some lyrics.
And won.
That's the baby sister extraordinaire. She's like, and he won. My brother won.
I don't think we were at the school too long before you ran, too, Chris. Were we there a whole year?
The next year.
Were we there a few months and you just came in and started running things and took over one commissioner of assemblies? How did that go? Were we there a year?
A year. It was my senior year.
Okay.
What is the commissioner of assemblies?
So whenever somebody came to town to perform in the auditorium, that's how I got my hosting chops.
Oh, wow.
I was the host. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a magician here from Long Island, New York. Give it up for the amazing Randy or whatever.
Oh, okay. So
wow. Hosting. That's so LA. That's so cool.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything like that. We had talent shows.
Yeah.
Y'all never had nobody come perform at the auditorium?
Yeah, but they wouldn't.
High school.
They didn't have performances. We were the Catholic school, so it'd be like Catholic choirs that come.
Let me tell you something. When we were at Morningside, it was ridiculous. We had DeBarge come.
Wow.
We had Junior come. What? Mama used to say.
Oh, LA.
Yeah. So, and then after I left, I'm sure even more, but there was always whoever was the new hot artist would come and perform at the high school because they knew they wanted to get those black kids to buy records.
Right.
Like my friends at Alex and Durham who went to Fairfax, they had Heavy D come to the school.
Wow.
Yeah, so if they want them black dollars, they know we're gonna spend some money, so they would have artists come to the school.
That's dope.
They would come to the record stores here.
They would come to Leopold.
We had that too.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see those concerts till we got to UCLA, and concerts right in the middle of campus. This is amazing.
That's why I wanted to come to LA.
Ironically, I remember at UCLA I was hosting stuff, and Dre brought Hammer down, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember that. Now,
nobody knew who Hammer was except people like Kente and Mary.
Yeah.
Because they were from the Bay. We were like, MC Hammer.
Yeah.
No, but remember when Hammer brought those girls and they had all that pie-yow and everybody was like, y'all don't look like that at UCLA.
I was dancing with them.
Yeah, 357. How Chris get on the stage?
We all went to high school together.
Remember, it was outside, right?
Yeah.
What was that little area? Shonda, you were there?
Yes.
Right
Because
there.
those are my people.
I always feel like Shonda was
together. Huh?
Shonda, I always feel like you were gone when I got there.
Well, see, Shonda was still there, but
Twins,
Shonda,
remember, we're twins.
She lived off campus.
She lived off campus, and Shonda had this thing that when she got to be in her senior year, it was high school or in college.
I was young
like,
then.
you guys are beneath me. You guys are
y'all older than me now, but y'all was young then.
Yeah. I was
Right.
like, wait a minute. We was at the same school at the same time.
I didn't remember. I would see glimpses of you.
Yep. That was
And
Shonda.
you were that's Kente's sister.
Right.
Yep.
And that's what I would get. I would always know what people were, what school they were, what level they were at our school when they would see me, because they either be like, "You're Kente's sister," or Kente would get, "You're Shonda's brother."
Yeah.
Right.
Like, okay.
Yep. And they'd be like,
Well,
well, hit me up with your
that's
sister. I'd be like, nah, bro, that ain't happening. Yeah.
Now, Kim, what did you think when Chris became the host of Vibe? Because that was like a big thing for us. That was like pretty huge, I thought.
Yeah.
Because I was wow, Chris, you snatched that from a lot of people. People wanted that gig.
Long deserved. He just, he had been working on his career, like he said, since he was like 6 years old. He thinks that he probably was hosting right after high school, but no. Every time family would come over, he would put on a show. Come on, let's put on a show. When we were like 12, 10, 11, we'd go to Jamaica. He would get the cousins together. We'd put on a show there. Everywhere we went, we go to New York to our family. He'd be hosting a show there,
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I know you can host
a long time.
I love that you're in your family, you have your biggest fan and biggest fans, because Kim is, every time she mentions Chris, she get this side glow in her face. He's long overdue. He should have been doing it in 1977. He should have.
I think she missed her calling as an entertainer.
It's all in the family with my dad, though. But like I said, he worked hard, and I saw him do a lot. He did a lot of studying, trying to, develop his career when he was at UCLA and after classes and this and that. And I saw all the nights that he was going out in the beginning and the struggle that it was for comedians. It wasn't easy at all. But like I said, he was always a winner, so we were going to make it happen.
So you did your 10,000 hours, Chris, see? By the time you got the Vibe gig, you had already clocked your 10,000 hours. So
now she says this, she's right. Cause
yeah, he did a lot of studying.
Between the pop locking and the magic shows.
Hey, that's what I was going to ask you, Chris. Pop locking or breakdancing? Which one? Oh,
I was a popper.
Pop locking.
If you in LA, it's pop locking all day long.
Okay.
I remember I thought I was nice until we went to the Bay.
Yeah.
Oh, did we pop lock in the Bay?
Yeah, they used to pop lock in the Bay.
Pop locking started in the Bay.
Yeah.
I always thought it was in LA.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's like
Richmond.
Stockton, Boogaloo Sam, and
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, you got, but people in Oakland don't consider that the Bay,
no,
right?
No, but still, I didn't even know it was up here because I always thought about Shabadoo was down in LA. I thought he was like,
right.
But that's because LA has Soul Train, so we didn't. So they every day was like we started.
So I remember we had a cousin who lived in Pleasant Hill.
Okay.
And so we would go up there, every summer, and we would go to a party or something, and we'd be seeing these little Filipino dudes.
Yeah, popping. That's right.
And the Filipinos was like, oh shit. And then we go to Fisherman's Wharf.
Right.
And you see some little brothers, and I'm like, I guess I'm not as good as I thought I was.
That's funny.
Like,
That's what they used to say back in the day, that people would come to Oakland and get stuff and go back to LA. They'd be on Soul Train dancing, and then they
But
would
listen, Richard Pryor cut for him to get better, he went up to the Bay and that's how he found his voice in the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. Because he felt like he was too much like Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
So some of the best audiences I've ever been in front of was in the Bay.
That's true.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's why Dave Chappelle like used to shoot his specials in the Bay.
Yep. That's why he come to the Bay. Like when he had that period where he went dark, he would go to Sweet Jimmy's and do 3-hour shows and wouldn't tell nobody till like 2 hours before the show and it'd be packed out.
I remember. What's the show? What's the club in the Bay now?
Now? Oh, Tommy T.
Yeah.
Tommy T.
Tommy T's.
All right.
So Tommy T's, the audience was great. I said, you know what I love about the Bay? All these black people here went to college. Now, most of y'all only went for a year, but all y'all at least went to college.
That's funny.
Right.
That is funny.
Yeah,
because Oakland's a tough audience. Because the one thing about Oakland is if they love you, they gonna pour all kind of love on you.
Right.
If you come here wrong, or they gonna just be just as bad on you. You might as well just pack your bags and leave.
Yeah, because
like Oakland gangsters, they always were like smart. Like they'll shoot you, but it'd be like, hey man, before you take me to jail, grab my James Baldwin book and give it to my mom.
Oh yeah, it well read. Like the first paid gig I did as a comedian was at the End Zone, and Joey Wells was hosting.
Oh, I swear to God on my mom, I was just about to say Joey Wells must have been hosting.
Joey Wells was the host, and he said, look over there in the front row. He said, you got 10 minutes. I probably had like 7 minutes of material. He was like, them cats over there, and they say, all right, partner, wrap it up. Get your ass off the stage. He said, because they chased, Joe Torre couldn't come to Oakland for 10 years because they were looking for him. Because Joe Torre came and bagged on, and these dudes in front row was the killers. It was in the End Zone was on 35th. It was in the hood.
In the hood.
Yeah, and Joe Torre was doing that stuff that he does and was capping on them, and they're going too hard, and they were like, "All right, player, we didn't have enough of that." And they said they chased him to Oakland Airport, and he didn't come back for like 10 years.
Yeah, like the Crips and the Bloods could never come to Oakland because Oakland is like, one, we're not that kind of organized, and two, you can't just come into Oakland unless you got cousin, family, somebody checking for you. So they never got to organize here. They like went everywhere else outside, but Oakland always had its own little neighborhood street gang, but not the Crips and Bloods kind of gang.
Steve Harvey got booed in Oakland.
Oh yeah, I just found out that's how Bernie Mac started closing Kings of Comedy. Because Bernie went before Steve, and Steve came out doing that hosting stuff, and they were like, from now on, Steve can only be the host.
It wasn't so much he did hosting stuff. He was up there talking about how much money he had and how he was doing this and that and this. And they was like, nigga,
we don't care.
Bottle.
Yeah. I heard they were throwing bananas and everything at him. The
next year, Steve went up there, and his first joke was, we ain't going to be throwing bottles and shit, are we? And they all screamed, and he had them, like, put it in his hands and killed him.
Yeah.
Right. Because the one thing about Oakland is, it's like, since it's so small and concentrated, there's no line of demarcation. So, like, if you had a party back in the day here, you'd have people of affluent, and then you have people in the hood all partying together, and it never matters. So you never flaunted whatever you had here.
Right.
Like, so you might have an outfit, you might have a car you drive in Oakland and a car you drive in San Francisco, or a car in LA and Oakland, because it's like all that that didn't work here. So
they're flaunting to get you jacked, because they be like, oh, player, we're gonna meet you right outside. We're gonna get you from everything. And that happened
it keeps you humble. It's like, don't get up here flaunting too much, because it's not that city. So that's another reason why I like LA. I like all the bling and all.
You like all that. Like
I like all that.
Yeah, people in Oakland be like, hey, homie, that's your car? You be like, nah, that ain't even mine. I'm about to have it
around the corner, around the block.
Yeah, you would park around the corner so they would never see your car, and then you go to the party because you wouldn't know who was there.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that was the cool part because everybody's like, you guys are all down to earth from Oakland because it's like you could not be because at some point it's not segregated. You're gonna see each other, so you couldn't just be on one side of town and never know everything that happens in Oakland impacts all of us. So if something's going down, like even to get to the airport, you got to go through so many demographics to get to the airport in Oakland. Even if you lived in the highest of the hills, to get to the airport, you got to go. So there's everybody's in it
Right.
for real here. So it keeps everybody kind of real to the same level until like now things are kind of shifting a bit, but they're still trying to hold on to that realness of Oakland. And I know Inglewood's kind of going through that same kind of change too.
It's very a lot of gentrification in Inglewood, especially with the stadium coming.
Oh yeah, they take it over.
These little houses that cost $250,000, $300,000 are like $1 million now.
Oh yeah, same here, right?
Yep. Same thing. Well, Spencer siblings, we want to thank you for giving us your time this afternoon. Today, Kim, we want to thank you for getting on and getting back off because Chris has stuff to do. So,
this is a ruling. We all ready to go. Yeah.
And Chris, thank you for making time and getting on. You're our brother. We love you. Love all you do. We're gonna be talking again soon.
And we also gonna get you guys. We're gonna get the information so you can give a shout out to us when the show airs. It'll be airing in about a week or so.
Yeah, and
definitely
on podcast and on YouTube.
Yeah, because what we do and like we see in your family, this show, Shonda, is what it's all about.
At the end of the day, it's all about love.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All about love.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. I like Kim. We hanging out. We going over to Kim house.
And Mr. Collins.
We love Kim. We got some jerk turkey to get down on Thanksgiving. I'm already like, she says she slaps it up, flips it, and rubs it down.
Oh boy.
Oh well, I'm going to go heat up my curry goat I made last night with the right rice and the salad and the plantain. Sorry, Chris, you're not here.
Sorry, the shelter in place. She can't get you none either.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Thanks. Thanks for having me. Nice meeting you guys.
Nice meeting you.
We go.